Let's get focused, man. We got a fight to worry about here. Good money, good money.
Us boxers, we've been thinking of the same combinations for a long, long time. To see what are good ways to enter, exit, and land combinations at the same time. At the end of the day, you're dodging punches all day.
And when you have a chance to make it out, it gives you that different look on life. It make you dream bigger than just your small town or your hard times that you've been through. It's crazy to me that who would know I'll be that guy. One night
I know what song you listening to. I know what song he listening to.
Gervonta, Dave, my first time watching him. I seen him a video on Instagram, man. I looked up his highlights too. That dude's a beast, man. He's great speed, great defense in those uppercuts, man. I mean, I appreciate boxing. You know, I'm not a hater, man. If I see somebody I think is good, man, I'll talk good about him. You know, some people they just see boxing and they don't appreciate it. They talk bad about him. But me, I see a good fighter and I respect.
Gervonta Davis is now reportedly working alongside David Benavidez' father, Jose Benavidez Sr., in training. And to be honest, it's a move that caught a lot of boxing fans completely by surprise.
You're trying to land the best punches. You're trying to make the highest possible decisions in your head. And fights, everything is do or die. When you take the hesitation away, sometimes you really know, believe in yourself, believe in your skills. I'm not trying to let fear, basically, that's what it is.
I knew I'd be big, but I never knew that I would be like the guy that actually break them doors. Calvin believed in me. Calvin believed in me no matter what. That's what was the important piece of me staying focused and I know I have somebody that's counting on me. Calvin was making sure that I was on the right track. And whoever go against me, Calvin was standing beside me. You know what I mean? Calvin was that guy that had my back for sure.
That's what we do. Get ready for this.
After spending so many years under the guidance of Calvin Ford, it appears Tank is ready to embrace a new direction as he gears up for the next phase of his career. Reports indicate that Davis has been working with Jose Benavidez Sr. for the past several weeks. After getting a first-hand look at how the camp operated, music, he reportedly decided this was a team he wanted by his side heading into his next fight. That's a major decision because elite fighters rarely switch things up unless they are convinced a change can elevate their game to an entirely new level.
The last run of the camp, right here with all the guys. You know, I just want to thank Sam.
Yeah, this Santa Cruz right here today.
You gotta let it burn, baby, let it burn.
Mind over matter, son. Mind over matter. Ain't nobody doing no like this. Come in the desert. Trying to stay away from the desert. He come in the desert.
I want to thank Poncho. I want to thank Tristan. I want to thank my father. I want to thank my brother. Thank my wife, my kids, and everybody for giving me the energy I needed. It was a great training camp, and I feel like this is going to be the best fight to date. And then after this, you know, it's just going to be legendary work. But, you know, this camp really meant a lot to me, and I wanted to end this training camp like this. Nice hike to the top.
Coming up here, I was always that kid that know when it's time to buckle down and things like that. Like, I know when it's time to get serious. You know, I know how to focus, you know, no matter what's going on around me. That's what made me so special and why I came so far.
A new voice in a fighter's corner can sometimes transform their entire approach, and that mental boost can be every bit as valuable as adding new skills. At the same time, bringing in a new trainer always comes with music, added pressure because the expectations immediately rise. Fans will be paying close attention to every round, searching for proof that this new coaching partnership is having a real impact. One thing is clear, though, if these reports are accurate, Gervonta Davis isn't making this decision simply to grab attention. He's doing it because he believes Jose Benavidez Sr. can help him continue developing, continue winning, and remind the boxing world why he's still viewed as one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport, music, today.
I think like we're about 12,000 feet right now in the elevation. Finish with my prayers. You know, we had like about 20-minute prayer right here. For me, this run means a lot to me symbolically. You know, I made it to the top. You know, I've made it to the top of the mountain countless times. And with the power, the energy, and the protection from God, I keep making it up and I keep, you know, passing the threshold. So, you know, I know where I am. I know where God stands in my heart. I know where Jesus Christ stands in my heart. And we're just gonna keep making it to the top, and in his name, we're gonna keep fighting.
Yeah, I think that both of them, that's all what yeah, both of them.
I don't think right. You feel me? We gonna ain't gonna argue. That's it. We ain't gonna argue, bro. We ain't gonna argue. You hear me? We gonna hate. We ain't gonna.
And that's exactly why all the talk about Gervonta Davis working with Josie Ben Sr. suddenly live became even more interesting, because Coach Kenny Ellis didn't sound like someone watching a family fall apart. He sounded like someone watching the internet create a story that might not even exist. That immediately caught my attention. Kenny didn't rush to deny the rumors or confirm every detail. Instead, he kept coming back to one simple point. If Tank is training with Benavidez Sr., that a decision a grown man has every right to make. And it doesn't automatically mean bridges have been burned with Calvin Ford.
There you go. Good. There you go. When he get in that ring, he's on a mission. Because he understands that he got to put his pants on, training wheels going. You got what you asked for. Let's get it now. Slowing down.
30 seconds.
Honestly, I think too many fans hear the phrase new trainer and immediately start creating breakup stories before anyone involved has even said a word. Kenny made it clear that the bond between Tank and Calvin Ford is strong enough music, that they can simply pick up the phone, have a conversation, and work things out without turning it into public drama. I really respect that approach. Then the discussion moved to the fights everyone keeps bringing up, and Kenny practically brushed aside the never-ending Tank versus Devin Haney debate. His response was basically, if the fight happens, it happens. And after hearing years of speculation, it's hard to blame him.
Obviously some rumors circulating that Tank working with Jose Benavidez.
Yeah, I heard it, I'm not sure if it's true, but if it is, then he's a grown man, got a right to do what he wants, Whatever he decides to do, I told you before, I support him. I know love lost. Been on him since he was 7. Great guy, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes boxing fans put more effort into arguing about fantasy matchups than the fighters put into actually negotiating them. I also thought it was interesting that Kenny reminded everyone about the size difference, pointing out that Tank has always been a naturally smaller fighter. Yet for some reason, people tend to forget that whenever fight talks begin. He then casually brought Ryan Garcia back into Devin Haney's future, saying that's still the matchup fans truly want to see. And honestly, he may have a point. A great rivalry never stays silent for very long. Even when Floyd Mayweather's name entered the conversation, Kenny refused to fuel any controversy, choosing instead to view it as grown men handling their own business, rather than feeding online drama. That's what stood out to me the most. While everyone else is busy creating headlines, Team Tank, music, appears much more focused on putting together the next great performance. And if this new partnership with Jose Benavidez Sr. really works, the lightweight division could be about to face an even more dangerous version of Gervonta Davis.
Thoughts on Tank versus Devin at 147?
Man, that would be a good fight, but Tank is 135 pounds. Could have happened when Devin was at 35, but he was shot up.
Yeah.
Tank is small. He's not scared. He ain't running. He ain't ducking. He's small in stature.
And that's where the spotlight shifts right back to Gervonta Davis. After Kenny Ellis dismissed all the online speculation surrounding Tank's training camp, Bill Haney stepped in and reignited the biggest fight discussions in boxing. One thing I couldn't ignore was how Tank's name kept rising to the center of every conversation. Bill made it clear that if Devin Haney is looking for both the toughest test and the biggest payday, Gervonta Davis remains a top name on the list. That's significant because no matter how many new stars break onto the scene, Tank is still the opponent everyone wants on their record. At the same time, Bill stood firm on his claim that Devin has already agreed to face Shakur Stevenson at a 144-pound catchweight, insisting that the next move now belongs to Shakur. Whether you believe that or not, it certainly adds another layer of intrigue to the lightweight division. Then the discussion became even more entertaining as the panel shifted into debating fantasy matchups involving Boots Ennis.
There was an interview with Floyd Mayweather, and they were asking him, what's his favorite fighters today? Mentioned David Benavidez, Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, Devin Haney, but didn't mention Tank. Lots of people felt like, is there something in between them that he didn't say Tank? Because he's been promoting Tank for such a long time.
I'm not sure, but Floyd is one of Tank's favorite fighters regardless. Grown man, we don't get into that bullshit, man. If he don't like Tank, then so be it.
Keyshawn Davis, Ryan Garcia, and Tank all being mentioned in the same discussion really made one thing stand out to me. Boxing fans are almost overwhelmed with the number of blockbuster matchups that could happen. Bill continued to insist that Devin Haney is ready to face every dangerous opponent available, but I couldn't help noticing that every road somehow leads back to Gervonta Davis. Why? Because Tank is still the biggest attraction in the lightweight division. Defeat Tank and your profile skyrockets overnight. Even if you come up short, people will still respect the fact that you stepped up for the sport's biggest challenge. I also found it interesting that even while the conversation turned to rehydration clauses and contract negotiations, nobody sounded intimidated by Tank. Instead, they sounded frustrated that they still couldn't get him into the ring. That's a major difference. Then Max Kellerman casually pointed out that boxing would be in an even better place if Tank consistently pursued the biggest names available. And you already know that opinion is going to keep fans debating for weeks. Here's my take. Enough with the endless rankings and social media debates. Give us Tank versus Devin, Tank versus Shakur, or Tank against any elite contender willing to sign the contract. The lightweight division doesn't need more talk. It needs the opening bell. Because once the fight begins, that's when all the arguments finally get settled.
On the list, Tank Davis, he sets at probably the number one. I mean, we've been had back and forth. I think that when you talk about him fighting a Jake Paul, if that was realistic, there's no realistic weight that Jake Paul could have ever come down to Devin's walk-around weight. So I consider this as real. Me and Al have had discussions. That's made it even more real. Never has anyone said anything about any dehydration, rehydration, or anything for that matter. So I think that it should be, and what it should be, is a fair fight. And that weight is to be determined. But it won't be anything under 144 pounds for nobody in the world.
And that's exactly why Gervonta Davis continues to sit at the heart of every major boxing discussion. Because just after Bill Haney made it clear that Tank remains the biggest target on Devin Haney's list, Adrian Broner stepped in with an even bolder opinion. AB didn't simply rank Tank among the best. He outright declared that Gervonta Davis is the best active fighter in the world, and he had no interest in softening that stance for anyone. What really stood out to me was that Broner wasn't focusing on championship belts or win-loss records. Instead, he kept suggesting that Tank possesses something the rest of boxing's elite simply don't have, then smiled and refused to reveal exactly what he meant. Honestly, that's a kind of statement that can keep boxing fans debating for days. Was he talking about Tank's impeccable timing, his calmness under pressure, or that devastating one-punch power capable of wiping out 12 rounds of hard work? Whatever Broner was referring to, he clearly believes it's the ultimate difference maker. I also had to laugh because every time someone tried to shift the discussion toward another fighter, AB somehow managed to circle right back to praising Tank once again.
Yeah, I mean, what type of order do you want to try to pick these guys off? To be realistic, what type of order do you want to pick these guys?
The biggest and the best fight I think that everyone, the culture and sports and entertainment would love would be Tank. He's at the top of the list.
Yeah,
I think we got even more excited.
That's good.
Well, I mean, just keep breaking my heart, would you please? Breaking my heart, okay?
That's classic Broner, part serious, part entertaining, but always completely confident in what he's saying. And the truth is, whether you agree with his opinion or not, it's difficult to overlook everything Tank has accomplished. We've watched highly skilled boxers outbox him for stretches of a fight. We've seen naturally bigger opponents try to overpower him, yet Tank always seems to discover that one perfect opening that changes the entire fight. That's why so many opponents look in control until, all of a sudden, they aren't. At the same time, the title of the best pound-for-pound fighter is something fans will probably never agree on. Some will stand behind Alexander Usyk, others will choose Naoya Inoue, and plenty will continue backing Terence Crawford. That's exactly what makes these conversations so entertaining. But Broner wasn't interested in debating rankings. He was making a bold declaration. Now the spotlight turns back to Tank. If you're going to carry the label of the best fighter in the world, the boxing community is going to expect you to keep pursuing the biggest and toughest opponents available. Because true greatness isn't defined only by what people say about you. It's defined by proving it every single time that opening bell rings.
Who's the best fighter in the world right now? That's active. Tank, I agree. I always say that. People argue with me. Why did you say Tank?
I'm gonna try to say this without respect. Everything that them boys got, you got. Yeah, I'm saying that. And I ain't even glazing. I ain't being biased or nothing, bro. Everything them niggas got, you got. But it's one thing them niggas don't got that he got. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
At the end of it all, the rumors, call-outs, and endless opinions point to one undeniable fact. Gervonta Davis is still the fighter everyone wants to face. Now it's time to move beyond the talk and finally make these blockbuster matchups a reality. So who do you think Tank should step into the ring with next? Does he still deserve to be called boxing's #1 pound-for-pound fighter? Or has someone else earned that position? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your opinion. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters for more boxing updates.